Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chats with Chantla. I am so excited for this conversation. We have the phenomenal featured entrepreneur, Trey Brown, who is the owner of Salon Abstrakt. I cannot wait for you guys to hear from him. How are you doing this evening, Trey?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. You look good too.
Thank you.
Are you sitting in your salon right now?
I am.
Okay, you're giving it to us. You're giving it to us. I love it. Trey, you look absolutely stunning. I know I told you last night that I was going to try not to pay attention to the beautiful skin, but I just cannot help it. But everyone has been anticipating. So thank you for joining Brashana. And Brashana says, hey, cousin. Hey, y'all. So you got so many people already supporting you, Trey. So how you did good today? Did you work this morning?
No, I took the day off. I wanted to just get my mind set. Just be 100.
All right. So Trey, I know that there are so many people who have shared, who have been talking about. So your sister's like, hey, bro, I see you. Let me just pop a little bit of these comments right up on the screen for everyone to see. So everyone's really shouting you out. Tiara says, hey, Trey. She's like, I need my hair done. Help. You're not the only one, Tiara. Me too. Rashana again. Hey, y'all. Hey, cousin. Your aunt, she was like, yes, I know that's right. There's so many people on here, Trey. You better do it for the people tonight. Like, let me just shout out everybody. So you have Kim. Hey, you got Twayla. You got Shaylin. Is that Shaylin? Shaylin, sorry. Camry. Oh my gosh, I love it. You have Alicia. You have Lauren. Y'all keep it coming. Show your love. Show your support. I am so excited. Trey, you have so much love and support. I am so thankful for all of you joining in tonight. Sorry if I missed anybody. I will definitely get back to you, but I want to encourage you all. Yes, Patricia, thank you so much. She said, so good to see you doing just what you've always said you would do. Oh, I love that. You better have right. Don't get me up in here getting excited. This is really special for me because I've known Troy since he was in his mother's womb, and I just feel so like full circle when I think about coming back to him. And every time I look at him, like I told him, I'm like, you are your mother's twin. I'm sorry that I'm so distracted by that, but I can't help it. But there are so many people in the comments. If you have any questions for Trey of your own, make sure you put it in the comments so we can get it to him. But Trey, I want to get this conversation because so many people are watching, so many people are supporting. So I want to ask you, why do you do what you do?
You know what? I feel like it comes from within here. I feel like I was meant to make people pretty. I believe that if you feel good and look good, you're good. I feel like full circle. So
I know that's right. Trey, I've seen your work on so many levels. I've seen people, with their hair cut by you, makeup done. So I just know that there's a lot of things that you do. A lot, again, people saying, I agree, Cameron, he is the best. You're the best. I agree with that. Chelsea Settles, thank you so much for watching. She said, Slay Brown. Felicia. Felicia said, hey, boo. Just there's so much. And I wanted to keep putting all your comments definitely in the comments so we can just shout you out. Thank you all for watching again. So I can't wait to hear some of the comments and some of the questions coming from our audience as well for Trey. But also, Trey, in the beginning, what motivated you to become an entrepreneur?
I knew that I always wanted to do my thing. I felt like I was one of those unique people who always stepped to the beat of my own drum. I always knew I was different. I always knew that, let me put it like this, I feel like I had a boss mentality.
Say it.
I felt like I always wanted to do my own thing. So yeah, I felt like I was meant to be a boss.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That is called self-confidence.
Yeah.
If anyone didn't recognize that, that's not arrogance, that's confidence in the skill set that you had and acknowledging at a young age that you wanted to be your own boss. A lot of us, we dibble and dabble in that and don't make the commitment, but Trey made the commitment and he is exactly what he said he wanted to be. April, you are not the only person who loves Trey. There's so many people shouting him out. So I'm in agreement with you. I love him too. And he is definitely amazing. And as Brashana said, she said, say that. And I know, like, we all agree, definitely. Like, it is what it is. And I love that. And I definitely got to get your mom up here and shout her out. She's like, hey, son, talking to the best. I agree. Tila. I am talking to one of the best. It just makes me smile from the inside out. That's why my cheeks are probably going to be hurting and the back of my head's going to hurt eventually because it's going to get so tight. But let's continue this great conversation. And again, it is such an honor to be sharing this platform with you. My next question for you is, how did you get the concept or the idea for your business? Because to me, it's more than a salon when you look at the services and things that you provide and just the ambiance that's behind you. Like that looks great, like nicer than some people's our homes. And we're like, that's the salon. So share with us how you came up with the idea and concept for Salon Abstrakt.
So I came up with the whole name. I've always wanted to use the name Abstrakt. Abstract is art. Abstract is completely different. You have to figure it out. Not one canvas is the same. So the whole feel is like a gallery. I want it to feel like, you're walking into a gallery, and you're a piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair is your own unique piece, and you're my piece. You're so Abstrakt. That's where it comes from. Hair is art. It's my art, and that's where it goes. That's where the concept came from.
Love that. And I agree, Rashana. I like that. Also, what I like is that, when you're talking about, everyone's hair is different, you're a canvas. And so that just takes me back to the artistry of hairstyling. It's not just like, okay, you sit down and you give everyone the same mold of a hairstyle. You're really learning the personality of your client, the shape of their face. Some of the things that some clients may not be as bold to wear certain styles. So you're not going to do that to them because you don't want them to be uncomfortable. But I love how you said that. And I even Rashana said it, like no canvas is the same. You're not going to say, just because somebody looks good on one person, you may be like, but that may not look good on you. And so you kind of want to give them something that is going to highlight and enhance their own personal beauty. But I love that. And okay, before I even go any further, people are calling you Trex. Like there's Trex, or like you have a little following. I think your aunt calls, she's like, let me see. I think, why did I see that? I'm so sorry. Because it made me think, oh, they love their Trey days, but in this man. But do you have a nickname? Because it seems like you have nicknames out there that people are putting in comments.
Tanya calls me Trakers.
Yes. Okay.
I was a baby.
That's what I saw. That is so endearing. So I apologize. I made a mistake in the pronunciation, but I was like, I seen something and it was so cute. I was like, that's so endearing. So yeah, so that's definitely a family thing. And I see that, but I love that. You are definitely popular in the comments. People are giving you so much support, and I love that. Keep that support coming. Also, Trey, I know that a lot of people, I've known you've been in hair since you were a young person, so you're a very young child. So I want to ask you to expose to us, tell us about your first exposure in dealing with hair as a child. Like, what were you doing? How did you get exposed? Were you doing other people's hairs? Like, what was it that really caught your interest, and how young were you when you did it?
I was young, and I remember Barbies and dolls played a good part in my hair journey. And I feel like it also seeing my sister get her hair done by my mom. And then that just developed into me learning how to braid when I was like 10, 11. And then it took off from there. At that point, I was braiding everybody's hair in the neighborhood. And that's how I got exposed.
Mm-hmm. And
around town.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I just said braiding everybody around town. That was it.
I remember, and even Chantla says that you started doing her hair when you were 16, and she's so proud of you. But I remember who braided your hair? I used to remember asking people that, and I was like, isn't he only 10? Did he get double digits? Did he hit double digits? So I definitely remember that. And that is definitely a passion that you have to do, because I truly did not know how to braid until I had my first child, because I felt like I was forced to, because I didn't want his hair just all over the place. I would put 2 little braids, 2 little cornrows, but I wasn't good at it at all. So if you were doing that at 10 and 11. I did not start doing that until 19 and 20. So that was something I was definitely far behind. So were you like braiding anyone that would sit down and let you braid their hair? So were you doing that with just anybody, or was it just family that you were practicing on?
Family and friends. It got to the point where I was like, come over, let me braid your hair. And then it went full circle and can you braid my hair?
Oh, I love that. Yes. It went from asking to like you asking to them coming and asking.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. So when did you actually go to school? Like, did you take a break and decide like, okay, I'm going to take a break, or did you go immediately like after high school to go to school again?
Honey, I tried to find myself. Fun fact, I did not want to do hair, y'all. I did not want to do hair at all.
Really?
No.
What changed? What changed? Like, what went away? Like, what made you want to stop doing it and then come back around to begin it again?
That's the thing, though. I never stopped doing it. I just knew I didn't want to do it as a profession.
Oh.
So I went to university for a while, and I, working these jobs, and I had an epiphany at 27, and it was you're meant to do this.
Wow. Okay.
And I went to beauty school at 28.
I love that. It's flipping me out that you're older than 28 because you look like you're 27 or 28 right now. That's that skin. That's genetics. That's his mother, definitely. But my thing is, I love that you said that because everyone doesn't have to follow that course. Like that like right after high school, you go to college or you go to vocational school or whatever. Like you said, you went and you found yourself. And I think that what you just said resonates with me because you made it a choice. It wasn't like, oh, I have to find something because I don't want to let people down or people have an expectation of me. You did you and then came back and continued to do you. And so I love that everything that you were doing was just an extension of you. So hi, Miss Carol. Thank you so much for joining. I love her. As she said, I just love his life. So, and me too, Miss Carol, me too. Thank you for joining tonight's episode. Trey, you done brought everybody out from the block. You done brought everybody out from the block because Miss Carol is validation.
Okay.
Miss Carol is validation. If she's supporting you, that's about you done did something right. So thank you so much for supporting us both, Miss Carol. So also, Trey, I love how you decided to spell abstract. So what is the story behind the K in abstract?
You know what? Just plain and simple. It was different. Me and my friend Maria came up with it. She's like, why don't you spell it with a K? And I was like, absolutely, because of course I'm not traditional. And I got to be different somehow. So we sat down and it really stuck. And I feel like it didn't stick until I figured out how I wanted the logo to be.
Okay.
And then once I figured out how I wanted the logo to be, I was like, it's it. It looks.
Absolutely. And you know what? So the kind of your logo brought it to life for you. Yes. It made it real for you. I love that. So if you guys are watching, we have the amazing featured entrepreneur, Trey Brown, owner of Salon Abstrakt with a K. He is here giving us insight on his journey into entrepreneurship. As you can tell, there are so many people watching, so many comments. This is an individual and a businessman who is just loved, just so much motivation comes from you. There's so much joy. You're so high energy, and you are just so fashionable in regards to like your style and also the style of your salon. So you can see that in his background. That is not a backdrop. That is actually him sitting in his business. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's so serene. It's so clean. I love that, Trey. You have excellent taste. So luxury. That's probably how I would describe it. Very luxury. But also, Trey, I love that you talked about how things come alive when you actually do them. So in regards to when you were creating the logo, did you create like the lettering? Because I know you said you like being different. You like being outside the box. It is very unique. It's very you. So did someone help you with that, or did you because I told you I put it automatically with the C, and then I was like, that is a K. So like when you and your friend Maria, did you think about the color schemes and how everything represented you and how you wanted to be seen?
At that time, I didn't. I just kind of knew I had a little idea of what I wanted it to look like, but it didn't. I did have help with it. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted until I saw it. I can only, at the time, I was only able to describe it.
Mm. Hmm.
Uh, that was it. And then
Yeah.
I process of being able to have a graphic designer be able to transfer from paper to computer.
Okay.
And the artist that had to do that, she did incredible because it was exactly what it was on paper.
Wonderful. And so I actually put the spelling on the screen for you all. If you're like, okay, what do you mean about the K? So as Trey said, he's different, but I would say he's unique. And he shows his individuality because all of us sometimes get put in a box. And Trey, I admire you for knowing what you want and going after it, and not like, okay, are people going to question this? As long as you liked it and you loved it, you represented not just yourself in the way that you are as a business person, the way you do and handle your clients, but also and the way that you represent it in regards to your logo, which is a part of you. You are the brand. And, so I love that. So again, thank you so much for being courageous and doing what you felt was best for you. But if any of you have some questions for our featured entrepreneur, make sure you put it in the comments and I'll make sure to bring it up. And let me see, your mom said his mom gave him the name years ago. That's where the name came from. Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I can't stand you.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
I love you. So thank you so much, Miss. Also, I'm going to keep it going, but I want you to tell us also about, how can clients, I know you do hair, okay, and all types of hair, but one of my biggest things was like trying to recreate the style that my stylist would do in the salon. So how can clients, or do people of your clientele ask you, how can I recreate what you just did at home?
They do.
Like,
So a lot of times, so if I do have those clients, we call them shake and goes. We want you to be able to recreate this look or something very similar, because of course, me working from the outside in, I can see more than you can do it. If I'm around brushing your hair, I can see the back, you can't. So I try to create these styles that will be very similar whenever you style it yourself. And I try not to do technical cuts unless I know you're willing to do your hair every single day.
all right. Gotcha. I love that. And also, Haley, thank you so much. She said, I love my time with Trey when I was in his chair. One of my favorite hair friends to watch and grow with. Thank you so much, Haley, for that. I'm telling you. Also, I have a question. So Twyla said, do you plan to expand your business to another city in the future, like Columbus? That's kind of like a little jag, because I know she's located in that area, a little dig. So do you plan on expanding?
I would love to expand. My thing is I would love to become a brand.
Okay.
And I would love to hit cities and be everywhere. I wanna be known. I wanna be for, good work.
Mm-hmm.
Quality over quantity.
Okay, I love that. Quality over quantity. You heard that first here from Trey Brown, owner of Salon Abstrakt. Also, in regards to like expanding, as Twyla introduced that conversation, are there any cities, like if you had to open in like 3 cities in this country, do you have any choices that you would actually want to be located at? Share those.
I would want to definitely be. I would. So they would be major cities. No, nothing towards the smaller cities. I mean, I love Columbus, but I would definitely want to be in Atlanta, Chicago, and LA.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think that you hit, I was going to definitely say Atlanta for one, because that is like the hair capital of the world for like Black and brown people. Also to LA, and then Chicago was surprised. Why Chicago?
You know what? There's a lot of it's a little underrated city, I feel, in the hair game, but it's known for hair and makeup.
Wow. Okay. You just educated me, and
Yeah.
hopefully you educated the viewers as well. So Marie said, Trey, long time no talk to. Happy for your young man. So just people expressing they're happy to see you and you grew up. So a lot of people just probably from your childhood that are here supporting you tonight on Chats with Chantla. Also, I want to get to another question from our audience before I move on to the question I have for you. So April wanted to know, what is a hair goal you want to accomplish? And are you thinking of creating your own product line? Great question.
So my biggest hair goal would be, um, I don't know. I feel like I would want to, because there was a few things that I always said I wanted to do. I definitely said a dream of mine is to. I would love to be a platform artist and be on stage at the hair shows, creating art.
Wow.
But I would also like to be. I would also like to work with celebrities.
Okay.
Celebrities is. I want to be known. I would love to be known in the celebrity.
Absolutely. Do you have a celebrity that you would like to work with?
Um,
Um, if you had the opportunity and you could just like, okay, they're like, okay, you have one call and this celebrity, like any celebrity is going to say yes. Which one would it be?
Brandy.
Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised.
Brandy.
I love that. First of all, her voice for one. I would probably act like I would act like I was your personal assistant just so I could come. Um, so I'd be like, I carry the suitcases, like that's what I do. But I would love to be there with you. But why Brandy?
I've always loved Brandy. She is definitely the vocal Bible for sure.
Right,
Um,
absolutely.
but I always just loved Brandy from the time she came out. I followed her career, and she was just one. It's like she seems cool. I would just love to work with her.
Absolutely. And what about a haircut, like a product line? Have you ever thought about that?
Oh, I definitely thought about a product line. And for my product line, I would love to do something that caters to everyone, every ethnicity,
Yeah.
because everybody's hair is different. Like, so here at the salon, I use different products. Like, I don't stick to just one product line. I cherry pick because I'm like,
Mhm.
there's not one line out there that works on everybody's hair.
Right.
So I cherry pick and I use exactly what I know is going to work for different people's hair. So I would love to start something and just, of course, start small and then expand to fit everyone.
I love that. And you have enough support that I think if you would take that venture, if it would just be one product to start out with, and then you build onto that to the collection, I think that would be great. And I love that you said that because there are times where salon hairstylists will use the same product on every hair. And it's every person's hair doesn't respond to products the same way. I know that I have fine hair, but also I have hair that doesn't like it sucks up the moisture so quickly. And I know there's a word for that. So like always feel like when I wet my hair, that's when I like it the most. And when it dries, it doesn't have the same shine or moisture to it. So there definitely is difference. You can't assume that everyone's the same. So like that lets you also, if you're watching, acknowledge that he's paying attention to his clientele and not being like, okay, this is the product that I purchased and I spent hundreds of dollars on it, so everyone's going to use it because I spent my money on that. But I love that, Trey, for sharing that with us. And I love that people are putting some comments and questions in, some questions in the comments. Thank you also for watching, Lisa and Natalie. But also, I do have another question. I think this is a great question because where we're at in the world right now. Have you ever thought about virtual classes?
So this has definitely been in discussion lately. So I definitely was thinking about doing some virtual classes. And I know people like tips and tricks. So, and I'm one of those ones, I don't mind sharing. I will give you the tips, the tricks, everything you need to know. So be on the lookout for that, guys, because I'm definitely going to get into it. I don't know what platform yet, but I will definitely be giving some tips and tricks. You'll be seeing them maybe once a week, couple times a month, but they're definitely coming.
I love that. And I'm going to tell you, and just because, I'm always about investing in each other, I hope that Trey, there would be a little bit of a charge and not, because the thing about it is that you are giving out something. Not only are you giving out knowledge that not everybody knows, you're also giving your time. And so I'm a big stickler of us investing in each other. And so many times people want everything for free. And I get that. But I also know that Trey needs to purchase things. He needs the lights to stay on. He needs the water to run so that you can sit under that dryer and get your hair washed. So everything takes money as well. So, and we're supporting by sharing, liking, and things like that, but also invest your dollars. The beauty industry is a huge industry, and it's a huge industry. The Black and brown people put billions of dollars in every year. So let's put some of that into Trey as he continues to grow and venture out into virtual classes. So that's my little plug in regards to how we direct our money. But Trey, also, I know as a woman of color, as a Black woman, I see a lot of us, and not to exclude your non-Black clients, but why do you think a lot of women of color are transitioning from from like permed hair to natural hair?
I feel like everyone wants to feel at one with their hair, and everybody, and just that whole natural thing's coming out. I love the look of it. But then I also feel like people are going the whole natural to feel like they won't have to do as much. And that is not the case, guys. If you are natural, you are probably doing just as much, if not more, as if you were processed. Because natural hair, you definitely have to do protective styles. You have to protect it from breaking as well. So whether you're relaxed or natural, you're going to have to work at it.
Absolutely.
And another thing too, with being natural, you have to find products, and that's number one. You're going to have to invest in products that are going to work for your hair, because everything's not, because it's for natural hair.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. And Trey, thank you so much, because as we were preparing for this collaboration, I said the same thing. I was like, I was doing so much work if I wanted to wear my hair out, if I wetted it, and that's not the easiest thing. And it's not that, like, you see styles and you're like, why come my hair won't do that? And then because I didn't know anything about 3C, 4B. I didn't know anything about texture of hair. So I would just assume like, oh, that looks nice. And I saw that YouTube video, and then I would go get the products that the individual had, and my hair was not responding to it at all. It would be too heavy, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I agree. I definitely agree with that. So again, for all our natural sisters and brothers out there, it's not the easiest thing to take care of. So just really make sure that you're talking to a professional. But I love that. So Trey, you have so many people on here. I can't even keep up. Lynette said hello. Rochelle said hello. Brandy said hello. I mean, Ken said hello. I love it. But Randy, I love her point when you were speaking about celebrities. She said at some point, Trey's talent will be discovered by a big name or agency, and he will be able to write his own ticket to do anything he wants. I have said this for years. Randy, I co-sign that with you. Brashana said the same thing. She said, speak it and manifest it. So I love that. So again, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. They are coming in so quickly and so heavy. If I miss one, I apologize. Just put it back in there again so I can see it more like up on top now, so that I can ask Trey that question. Trey, there's so much love, so it'll be at the top of my list of comments. So I'll be able to ask that on your behalf. So getting back to some questions that I do have for you, what are some of the things in regards to like styling tools and products that people asked you when it comes to like home care for their hair? Like, there's something that you recommend more than another, or like, how are you advising people when it comes to styling your hair at home?
So as tools and stuff?
Yes.
So flat irons are probably one of my number one things. Everybody's like, what's the best flat iron to use? What brands? And flat irons, curling irons, and probably just moisturizers. What's going to keep the hair moisturized? Those are top three.
Okay, thank you. I do have a flat iron, but what I will say, do you recommend anything like in regards to protecting your hair before you put the heat on it?
Oh wait, a heat protector.
Okay,
They
great.
that either come in a spray or they'll come in a cream, but definitely use a heat protector. That's what they're there for. They're going to help protect your hair, that cuticle. They're going to help protect breakage the higher you go. So, and what will go that you can use with the heat protector.
Wonderful. But I'd love, you just mentioned something about cuticle. What does that mean? Like what's cuticle have to do with your hair? Like what is that?
So this is the cuticle of your hair. This is your hair strand is your cuticle, and everything's going to depend whether your cuticle is open or closed. So after you wash your hair, before conditioning, you just wash your hair. You're opening up your cuticle. When you condition it, that closes everything up. That's why you get the smoothness. So when you wash it, it's frizzy. That's because your cuticle's open. But once you close it with a conditioner, it lays super smooth.
Oh, I love that. So should we put certain things on our hair between those two things if we're trying to keep the moisture in? Do you recommend is there a step we should do between the shampoo and conditioning?
Not all the time, because your conditioner is going to put your moisture in before it closes. So it's going to lock everything in. But that's also, too, why you have deep conditioners as well, because that's also going to put those nutrients in. So I always recommend if you wash your hair between once a week to once a month, you should definitely always do a deep condition in between. That's just going to help the health of the hair. It's going to help your cuticle. It's going to help strengthen. So you'll definitely do that. But your conditioner is going to put everything in and help smooth it as well. So no, not really any steps in between.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you again. So you got some free tips right there, because a lot of us don't know. And those are things that, when you talk about opening and closing, that I didn't know anything about. And there is a difference between the shampoo and then versus when I put the conditioner on. So I love that. Also, Dana, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you as well. So that's another supporter of yours, Trey. But Miss Carol did have a question. She said, do you get older Black women with alopecia? And is it hard to work with those clients that do have that?
It's not really hard to work with them. It all depends on what you want, and it all comes from education. I don't have that many clients that do have alopecia. I have worked with them in the past, but it's all about what they want and everything that's being done at home. So it kind of goes with the consultation of the appointment.
Wonderful. And I love that too, that a lot of times there are, and I'm just going to say it from experience, there are a lot of hairstylists that don't give you the consultation. They just put you in the seat and they get the dollars, and they're not really educating you. And so just to go back and reflect on his professionalism and also care for his clients, is there's consultations with it. In most cases, you should get that, just so that you know how to take care of your hair, what your hairstylist, if Trey's going to become your your everyday, I shouldn't say every day, but your designated hairstylist, that someone's talking to you and educating you, and you have that conversation and that communication between client and stylist. So thank you so much for also sharing your professionalism in that regard as well. So Patricia also wanted to know, where's your shop located? I know we were going to get to it, but hey, I'm going to give the people what they want. So where is the shop?
So right now I am temporarily located in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. But I'm mainly based out of Washington. I will eventually be back down in Washington this year. But right now I'm in Monongahela working, so not too far.
Wonderful. And I'm going to keep it going with Patricia's great question. How do people get an appointment with you?
So a lot of people, I definitely put my salon information online on Facebook, and you can always hit my DM on Facebook.
Okay, so the salon is at Salon Abstrakt on Facebook and Instagram. And is the telephone number 724-993-4506?
That's it.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. So if you want your hair done at Salon Abstrakt and you want to connect with our featured entrepreneur, Trey Brown, owner of Salon Abstrakt, you want to get that number at 724-993-4506. I would definitely call him today and not wait, because I think the exposure in this collaboration is going to have a lot of more people in his seat, and you may have to wait. So you want to get that sooner than later. Also, Trey, now getting back to some of the questions, what or who has been your greatest influence?
What I I really have a greatest influence because I try to take a little bit away from everyone. Um, but I just look at some of the great artists and just I try to pull a little bit from everywhere. So there's not really one person. But I just have that love for fashion and just the art of beauty. So I feel like it comes from a little bit of everywhere, the magazines. Now we have more social media, so little that's pulling way more inspiration, and also just being able to attend like the hair shows and see the artists at work, and so I get a little bit of inspiration from everywhere, not just one. So.
Right. No, absolutely. And there are a lot of resources that you can get things from. So I understand how so many great influences that are in front of you and that you're drawing inspiration from. So just shouting out Jake Hell Brown. She's like, hey, Trey.
Hey guys.
Yes, absolutely. Charlene Hall said, hey, Trey. And also Donna says, hi, guys. So there again, like I said, I don't think I've seen this many comments ever. And that's just a representation of who you are and how you mean to so many people. And so also TJ said hi, and also to Neil. So I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody out there who's supporting you, and also the Chats with Chantla platform. So also, how has becoming an entrepreneur impacted the other areas of your life?
It making me, I will say that it's definitely making me more aware of things, and it's making me it's taking me out of my comfort zone for sure. Because I've never done this, so this is something new. So it's like, okay, you have to relearn this again. So I'm back to educating myself pretty much. But it's because I'm a procrastinator, so I know with this it's definitely helping me with that as well.
Right.
I know I have to get things done.
Mhm.
I feel like that's number one. Things got to be done. You can't wait now.
Right.
You wait, it affects your business.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
so that's how it's definitely helped. It has making me more aware of things.
Thank you. Your smile is contagious. So keep on smiling, Trey. Every time you smile, I'm like, yay, I'm going to smile like Chester Cheetah. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I admire you from the inside out. But we do have another question, and it's from April. And she said, how do you deal with difficult customers? Because there are some people you just can't please. Amen to that.
I'm not one of those stylists that are super sensitive. I am one of those, I tell it like it is. The same energy you give me, I might not give you that same back, but I'm definitely going to be more direct, and I've had people come in my chair and cry. There might have been a miscommunication on something and they're crying, or, take a tissue. I'll give you 5 minutes. We could talk about it. Irate customers, haven't had too many. I've had some stern ones that want what they want, but you just got to be real, honey. That's not going to look good on you. Like I'm that type of stylist. I don't want you want of my work to look bad. I know if I send you out with something that I know didn't look good on you, I'm going to be upset. I'm there to give you something. I always say this. I'm there to give you something that you didn't know you wanted.
Ooh, that is on a t-shirt. You need to get that made. That is a t-shirt. Yeah. That is a t-shirt. Yes, sir. That is great.
Because I feel like, you come in with one thing in your head, and then you sit in my chair, and we're going to completely wipe that out, reiterate, and then come back with something new. And that has worked. And they're like, I didn't even think of that. This is great. And
yeah.
and that's my job.
Absolutely. And that's why you're the stylist and I'm the client in the chair, because I want you to give me something. And a lot of times we don't know how to articulate our personalities. And I think clothes and hair are an extension of showing people who we are outwardly without ever having to say a word. And I think that's why the industry, hair industry, makes so much money, because so many people want that. And I know as a Black woman, I want to change my hair probably every other week. You know, you might catch me with extensions, a wig, pull back, you know, natural like curls and coils. So every time I sit down, it would you like, Shauna, I'm like, what is it this week? Because you know I'm coming with something different. But I think I love that. And I also want people to see, in case you're not seeing it in the comments, that Dana said, you will not be disappointed. I've been with Trey for 7 years. I've learned so much from him. He's professional and caring, and he loves what he does. It really shows. Absolutely, Dana. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think just with this conversation a little bit, we're learning that a little bit more about him. So, you know, this platform does feature entrepreneurs, but it gives us an opportunity to learn them about them as professionals and also as a person. So I think that was great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dana, with us. But also, Jeremy said, hi, Trey. But he wanted to know, do you have or will you be starting a portfolio?
I will. So I haven't done a portfolio. I would like to do a professional portfolio because I haven't done anything since beauty school, and it was like for amateur. But I want to do a little bit of everything. So I want to actually do my next portfolio, everything with myself. So I want to be able to take the pictures, do the hair and the makeup, all myself.
Okay.
So that's my next thing. To take that to, I would love to be represented from an agency. By an agency.
I love that. That is a boss move. Sorry, I was over talking you, but you wanting to do everything, that is definitely a boss move. And that's something that only a boss would be thinking about. So I'd love that question. And thank you for that response. Also, Waynette said that she loves your honesty when you were talking about, you know, giving somebody and being honest, like this may not look good on you. And I don't want you to walk out of the shop and not only be possibly unhappy, or even like that. I think stylists also want people to be you're a walking advertisement for them. So if they do something that doesn't compliment you, somebody might be like, I wouldn't have sat down in his or her chair. So it's like a dual responsibility for the client to be realistic about what the stylist can provide to you, and also the stylist to be realistic on what they can give their client. So thank you so much for sharing that. Lori's giving you some kisses, blowing you some kisses and support. So thank you for that. Also, we have a question all the way from New York City from Chantla Campbell, and she wanted to know, what are some of the best protective styles that you can recommend?
Braids, twist. It comes to your band, even Bantu knots. When it comes to any protective style, your moisture is going to be key, no matter what you do. But you'll want to do twists, braids, even if you're doing extensions. Moisture is going to be key for my natural.
Thank you. Thank you for that question, Shantae. I think a lot of us were asking that. And I agree, Trey, like the moisture. And I think that's what I was lacking. And I'd take my Bantu knots out and I'd be like, why are the ends dry? Like I wasn't paying enough attention to those. So thank you so much for that advice. Also, I want to know for our audience, because we want to connect with you as well, how are you marketing your business for people to be able to get in contact with you?
So now, since it's just me, I'm not spending a lot of money on anything but social media because I don't have a big salon. So with it just being me, you know, I word of mouth, and I'm using Instagram right now, and having my walking advertisements do.
Absolutely. Those are great marketing tools because they're free, for one.
Right.
You don't have to create an unnecessary budget, and people are on social media platforms more than ever now, because we're not out as open. We're not as mobile as we used to be. So if it's not coming up on your timeline for whatever platform you're on, most people are not going to see it. So I think you're being smart in that. I think that's very clever, and it's also very feasible. So also, because we're talking about the impacts of COVID, how has COVID impacted you and your business, like, as a business owner?
It definitely. So once COVID hit, I was shut down for about 3 months. And at that point, I had to figure, I was still paying rent. So I made the decision to leave. And it was pretty rough up until, so I was kind of fortunate to have a space to where I can go to temporary. Because we wasn't sure when we were going to open up. So it kind of humbled me. This experience humbled me, and it humbled me in the fact of everything's not going to be in my control. Everything's not going to be perfect because I'm a perfect, and everything has to be kind of controlled by me because I want everything to be done right. So this kind of sat me back a little bit, like, it's not always going to be you. So it kind of set me down, and it's like, okay, just relax a little bit and just go with the flow at this point. So I'm just fortunate to be able to still work again.
Absolutely. Again, if you're just joining in, we have the amazing featured entrepreneur, Trey Brown, who's the owner of Salon Abstrakt with a K, and he's sharing his journey into entrepreneurship, providing insight as he is a professional and also a business owner, and just giving us a little glimpse of him on a personal note as well. So Trey, thank you so much again for joining me tonight on Chats with Chantla. Let's continue to keep this conversation going. What other areas of service do you provide at Salon Abstrakt?
So Salon Abstrakt, definitely all hair services, cut, color, relax, natural, and makeup. So maybe nails in the future. I might definitely doing some nails. We'll see how that goes, but definitely all hair services and makeup.
Thank you. Again, thank you all for watching. We have Lisa. We have, so many people just joining. So Lisa, she's always, watching every week, but she definitely said, I just want to put it up on the screen. And she said, yes, Trey, the people's hair that you do represent you. I get in my hairdresser and says that my hairdresser says it all the time. He's not sending me out looking any kind of way. Yeah. So kind of just like what you said. And I think that's great. Also, again, another great question from Shantae Campbell, all the way from New York. How do you address like people who have thin hair? Like, what are some of the styles or even protective styles that you would recommend for thin hair?
Thin hair, and so for thin hair, there are products. They're not long-term products, but they're for short-term. Are hair thickeners. And I use those a little bit because they do give the hair body, and you can use those for everyone. For my Black clients or my Caucasian clients, I use it for both. They give wonderful. For thin hair, you can do braids and stuff, but you don't want to add a lot of extensions to those braids because they will pull, and you don't want to put too much tension on there. But you can, there's not anything that you can't do. You just don't want a lot of tension.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. No problem. Also, Dana said she wants you to do eyelashes and nails, definitely. So
she wants me to do lashes for a while, and I'm like, lashes, I have to figure out if I have the patience to do them. Mm-hmm. They're tedious. They're gorgeous, but they're tedious.
Definitely. And they're so popular. That's something like so many people want. And like, I'm not going to lie, like I have lashes and they're individuals, but I do them myself because you can buy kits now, but that just makes me feel done even when I'm not done. So I see why so many women want them. And I see why you say they're tedious because it does take time. I've watched videos and I'm like, as much as I would want to do that as a side thing, I'm like, oh, I don't have the time for that either. But it's definitely a business that a lot of people are definitely interested, or service, I should say, that a lot of people are interested in having. Also, Alicia wants to know, do you work with locks?
I do not. I've never worked with locks yet.
Okay. Are you planning, or something? Is that something that you are interested in doing?
I want to do everything. There's nothing. I don't want to miss a beat.
Love that. Love that.
I
I
don't want
love.
anybody's hair. I want to do it all. I don't want to miss a beat.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trey. Thank you for joining the platform, Heather. And also, another person all the way from New York City. She is a colleague of mine, but more importantly, she's a friend. And Aldeni would like to know, is it necessary to bleach to achieve a color?
Not all the time, depending on the color, because there are colors out there that also lift and deposit, which means they will lift the hair and put the color in for you, so you won't have to use a bleach. So they're like they call them a high lift color, which is nice. So if you wanted to, just say you want to go red, there is a brand that makes a red for dark hair. So it will lift your hair and it will also deposit the color and come out very pretty. So you don't always have to bleach to achieve a color.
Great question, Aldeni. Thank you so much for joining and supporting Chats with Chantla. She is a phenomenal woman, beautiful from inside out. Also, so Donna, his location temporarily is in Monongahela, Pennsylvania. So he was able to share that with us. So if you're looking for Trey, and the telephone number, let me just put that up there. Donna, you can reach him at 724-993-4506. And also you can find him on Instagram and Facebook at Salon Abstrakt with the K, to learn more about him, so, and how to connect with him. So that's on Facebook and Instagram. So a lot of people are just joining and asking some questions, and I'll get back to my questions, but I love when our viewers have questions for a featured entrepreneur. Thank you so much for being engaged. So Felicia does have a question. She said, would you make wigs for people who can't go to your shop?
Oh, I would love to do that. That's on my list, is to make wigs and be able to get them out across the. Yeah, for sure. That's in the making as well.
Great. That goes back to all those virtual classes that people want to know what's coming down the pipeline. So that's why you need to follow him, to make sure you're following him at Salon Abstrakt with a K, so that you learn what's coming down in regards to products and services and things like that. Great question, Felicia. Thank you so much for joining this evening. And now Denny said, thank you. And so did Donna. She said, got it. Thanks. So thank you all for just, asking these questions, joining in tonight's live stream with our featured entrepreneur, Trey Brown, owner of Salon Abstrakt. But also, Trey, as a stylist, what age groups do you work with? Is there an age that you start with, or what is your current clientele in regards to age?
I do everyone from a baby to 100,
Mm-hmm.
to infinity. I do everybody's. Everybody wants to look good. I do everyone. Everyone wants to look good. Come see me. Come see me. I do everyone.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you, Danny. She said, love Trey forever. Watching from the UK.
Oh, damn.
Wow. That is huge. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you. You have some support, Trey. She is watching from the
Get
UK.
your back. You need to be back on my chair. It's been forever.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, thank you again. That is wonderful. Miss Carol said she is loving this. So yeah, I appreciate that all. So wow, Danny, thank you. She's like, hey boo. So I love that. And then your Tanya said yes, because she needs a custom wig made.
I got
ASAP.
you.
ASAP. Put me on the list too. My cousin does it, but I support everybody. Also, we want to help you. Like, this has been a great conversation, a beautiful collaboration. We're learning so much about you as a professional and also as a person. Zed, I know you mentioned your social media handle. So again, like, how did we reach you? For those who are just now joining in, I don't want to assume that they heard it the first time or the second time. But again, let us know how we can reach out to you and connect with you for appointments and learning more about what's coming down the pipeline for you as you grow your business at Salon Abstrakt.
Yeah, so I am on Facebook Salon Abstrakt, and I'm also on Instagram at Salon Abstrakt. So you can definitely hit me in my DMs on either platform, um, and or give me a shout at 724-993-4506. You can always give me a call, leave a voicemail. I'll always get back to you. But those are my contacts. So you can reach me on any one of those, and you'll definitely get a response.
Love it, love it, love it. And so many people, aw, I guess your nephew said, "Hey, Uncle Trey." I love him. He is such a cutie, such a cutie. Again, your mom says she is so proud of you. Also, love it, Montel. Montel is a person after my own heart. He's like, you need to drop your Cash App on here. Brett needs to be paid for all the information that he gave out. You know, Montel, I'm right. I align myself with that statement as well. So sometimes people can't get to you, but people want to be able to give you a few dollars. So if you do have Cash App, you can share it right now. People might, hey, don't block someone's blessing. Do you have a Cash App that you want to share with us?
I do.
There you go. We're listening.
Yes, my Cash App is Trey Brown.
Let me be typing that as I ask another question because you will see it coming up on here, Montel. Thank you for that. Trey, where'd you go? Okay, you're back, honey. You're back. You're fine. You're fine. Oh, so let me just shout out Ken. He said he is proud of his partner. I know that's right, Ken. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. We love it. We thank you for sharing him tonight with us all. But so I will be doing that Cash App information for us all to get. And it's Trey M-O Brown.
Brown.
Okay. Is it all lowercase?
Yep. Hold on one second. I know so many. Yep. Trey M-O Brown.
Okay. So that's Cash App. Now let's get your beautiful face back on this camera. Okay. Thank you. So it is his Cash App is Trey Brown. So if you want to, if you can't reach him by getting in the seat, you can always bless him with a couple dollars at Trey Brown at Cash App. Yes, I love it all. So Trey, also, we want to keep this conversation. We're winding down, everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed the information that you learned about Trey as well. But if you could offer one piece of advice to a first time or an entrepreneur who's been in business for a while, what would you tell them?
Definitely, definitely make sure you have good people behind you, a good support system. I feel like that's key to staying successful or building to success is a support system and people you can trust. That would probably be number one.
Absolutely. I love that. And so there are so many people proud of you, Trey. I think everyone, there's been 47 comments on this thread. So that's amazing. There has been at one time, you've had 40 plus people watching and supporting you all the way from the UK, from New York City. So I really appreciate all the support. And I love the fact that so many people are loving on you. And I think that you are just such a contagious personality person, beautiful person from the inside out. But again, thank you so much for this collaboration. But what I want to do now is give Trey the opportunity to share some final thoughts with our viewers tonight. And again, thank you so much for joining. But here goes Trey sharing some final thoughts.
Well, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for checking me out tonight and just the love that you have shown. It is greatly appreciated. I can't even begin to give the love back that you've given me. And I also want to say to all the future entrepreneurs out there, listen, if you got something that you want to do it, because there's enough out there for everyone to eat. Don't worry about if somebody's doing the same thing. They're not you. So those are my final thoughts for tonight. So thank you so much.
I know. I'm back here just snapping. April, I know April was probably one of the first people to recommend you for Chats with Chantla. Thank you so much, April, for doing that, followed by your mom and your aunt. So that was love. So many people are loving on you, Trey. We love you, they're saying. Miss Carol, God bless. Alicia loves you. Raymond, she said. And also your mom. I think this has been such a amazing collaboration, Trey. Thank you so much for bringing it full circle. For me, like I said, I've known you since you were in your mother's womb, since I was a very little girl. Your mom has been such an amazing support to me. Tila, if you don't know, you have impacted me in such a great way, and words, actions, and so much love. And then to be able to work with your son is so humbling and such an honor. So I appreciate you, Trey, and so many other people do as well. So it has been another episode of Chats with Chantla. We had the amazing featured entrepreneur, Trey Brown, owner of Salon Abstrakt. Let me put that up there one more time for you all. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. Do not let this connection stop here. Make sure you reach out to him on Facebook or Instagram, and you can give him a call at 724-993-4506 for your hair care and makeup needs. Make sure that you're supporting and you're being that person, not just liking and sharing and commenting, but also being that person that is extending and expanding him as a professional as well. So it's been another opportunity. And Myra, thank you so much for watching. She said, this is awesome. Thank you, Eric, for watching as well. And make sure that, just stay tuned for another episode of Chats with Chantla. Thank you so much, Trey, for making tonight such a memorable one. So again, thank you again for this collaboration on the platform. It has been such an honor.
Thank you so much for all of this.
Absolutely. I can't wait. We'll probably have a part 2. So thanks, and everyone. Have a wonderful night.